There is a simple phrase that sounds almost too ordinary to change a person's life, yet within those 3 words is a powerful principle that separates those who achieve their goals from those who remain stuck. Do it anyway. Not when the timing feels perfect. Not when every doubt has disappeared. Not when you finally feel confident enough. Do it anyway. Because life rarely waits until you are completely prepared. It presents challenges, opportunities, and responsibilities, and then it asks one important question: what will you choose to do next? Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment. They believe success will begin when they have more confidence, more resources, more knowledge, or fewer problems. But the truth is very different. Success does not belong only to the most talented people, the luckiest people, or those who have the easiest path. Success often belongs to the people who continue moving forward when everything inside them wants to stop. The people who keep showing up when nobody notices. The people who continue working when results are slow. The people who choose commitment over convenience. Anyone can stay motivated when life is comfortable. Anyone can remain positive when opportunities are everywhere and progress is visible. It is easy to stay dedicated when everything is going according to plan. But the real test of character appears during the difficult seasons. It appears on the days when your effort feels invisible, when your progress seems too slow, and when your doubts become louder than your dreams. Those moments reveal who you truly are because they show whether your actions depend on temporary feelings or permanent values. Think about a farmer preparing for a harvest. A farmer does not plant seeds only on the days when the weather feels encouraging. A farmer understands that growth requires patience, consistency, and trust in the process. Some days the sun shines, and some days the rain creates challenges, but the farmer continues the work because the reward belongs to the person who keeps planting. Life follows the same principle. You will not always see immediate results from your efforts. You will not always receive recognition for your sacrifices. You will not always feel confident, but you must continue planting the seeds of growth. Every day you have a chance to improve yourself. Every day you can learn something new, strengthen a skill, develop discipline, or take one step closer to your goals. The small actions you repeat are shaping the person you will become. That is why the mindset of "do it anyway" is so important. It teaches something deeper than temporary motivation. It teaches dependability. It teaches you how to become someone you can trust. The most important relationship you will ever build is the relationship you have with yourself. Can you trust your own promises? Can you depend on yourself when things become uncomfortable? Can you continue after disappointment? These questions matter because before you can achieve greater opportunities, you must first prove to yourself that you are willing to follow through. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you break a promise, you weaken that trust. Your life is transformed through repeated decisions, not through one single moment. One workout will not completely change your body. One page will not write an entire book. One conversation will not build a lifelong relationship. One disciplined day will not create massive success, but hundreds and thousands of small choices made consistently can completely change your direction. The person you become is created by the actions you repeat when nobody is watching. Every time you choose discipline instead of comfort, you become stronger. Every time you choose progress instead of perfection, you become wiser. Every time you choose responsibility instead of excuses, you move closer to the future you want. This transformation does not happen overnight. It happens quietly through daily decisions, through patience, through persistence, and through the willingness to continue even when the excitement disappears. Many people wait for confidence before they take action, but successful people understand that confidence is usually created by action. You do not become confident and then begin. You begin, and through experience, you become confident. The first step creates the second step. The second step creates the third. Slowly, what once seemed impossible begins to look achievable because you have developed proof that you are capable of continuing. So ask yourself an important question. What would happen if you stopped waiting? What would happen if you stopped making agreements with your excuses? What would happen if every morning you replaced the question, "Do I feel like doing this?" with the decision, "I will do it anyway"? A single choice repeated consistently can completely reshape your future, because extraordinary results often come from ordinary people who practice extraordinary consistency. The people who achieve meaningful goals are not always the people who feel ready. They are the people who move forward despite uncertainty. They wake up tired and continue anyway. They face rejection and continue anyway. They experience failure and continue anyway. They understand that feelings change, circumstances change, and challenges change, but the person they build through persistence remains with them forever. Your excuses are temporary. Your fear is temporary. Your discomfort is temporary. But the strength, discipline, and character you develop by refusing to quit can stay with you for the rest of your life. That is why you should not wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions may never arrive. Instead, take the next step. Keep your commitment. Face the challenge in front of you. And whatever life places in your path, do it anyway. Fear is another obstacle that stops many people from reaching their potential. But there is something important you must understand about fear. It never completely disappears. Successful people, leaders, and achievers all experience fear. The difference is not that they never feel afraid. The difference is that they refuse to allow fear to make their decisions for them. Most people believe confidence comes before action, but experience teaches the opposite. Action creates confidence. Every person you admire had a moment when they were uncertain. They questioned themselves. They worried about failure. They wondered what others would think. But they still took the step forward. That decision to move despite fear became the beginning of their growth. Fear has a powerful voice. It asks, what if you fail? What if you are not good enough? What if people criticize you? For many people, those questions become invisible walls that prevent them from trying. But fear only becomes powerful when you allow it to control your choices. The moment you act despite fear, you begin taking back control. Ask yourself this: what has fear truly given you? Has fear helped you build the life you want? Has it helped you discover your abilities? Has it helped you move closer to your dreams? Fear often promises protection, but sometimes the protection it offers creates the greatest regret. The pain of failure is temporary, but the pain of wondering what could have happened if you had tried can remain for years. Courage is not about having no fear. Courage is about deciding that something matters more than the fear standing in your way. It is the moment when your purpose becomes stronger than your doubts, when your vision becomes more important than your comfort, and when your future becomes worth the temporary struggle you must face today. Fear may still exist, but it loses its control when you stop allowing it to decide your actions. Think about someone learning to ride a bicycle for the first time. The fear of falling is real. The possibility of making a mistake is real. But if that person never gets on the bicycle because they are afraid of falling, they will never experience the freedom of riding. Growth always requires a willingness to face uncertainty. Every meaningful opportunity carries some level of risk. Every valuable goal requires effort. Every achievement asks the same question: are you willing to move forward even when you are uncomfortable? Fear is often misunderstood. Many people think fear is a warning sign that they should stop, but sometimes fear is evidence that they are moving towards something important. If your goals never challenge you, they may not require your full potential. If your dreams never make you nervous, they may not be big enough to inspire growth. The greatest improvements in life usually happen outside the boundaries of comfort. Every time you face something difficult, you become stronger. Every time you have a challenging conversation instead of avoiding it, you develop courage. Every time you take a risk instead of staying in the same place, you gain experience. Every time you refuse to let fear control your choices, you become more confident. Confidence is not built through endless thinking. Confidence is built through action. Imagine two people who receive the same opportunity. Both feel nervous. Both have doubts. Both wonder whether they are capable. The first person waits until fear disappears before taking action. The second person accepts the fear and takes the first step anyway. 1 year later, their situations look completely different. One person has gained experience, knowledge, and growth. The other person has collected reasons why they never started. The opportunity was the same. The difference was the decision they made in that moment. This is why you should not ask yourself, "Am I afraid?" because fear is normal. A better question is this worth doing? If the answer is yes, then move forward. Your hands may shake. Your confidence may not feel complete. Your heart may beat faster. But courage has never required perfection. Courage simply requires movement. Remember this, fear will visit everyone, but it does not have to become your leader. Let fear exist, but do not allow it to control your direction. Let it sit beside you, but never let it hold the steering wheel of your life. The future does not belong only to people who feel fearless. It belongs to people who look at fear and decide, "I will move forward anyway." Life has a unique way of teaching its greatest lessons through difficult experiences. The moments we want to avoid are often the moments that shape our character the most. Challenges have a way of revealing strengths we never knew we had. They force us to become more patient, more disciplined, and more determined than we were before. When many people face problems, their first question is, "Why is this happening to me?" But people who grow through challenges ask a different question, "What can this teach me?" That small change in perspective can completely transform the way you experience difficulties. Every obstacle has a lesson hidden inside it. Every setback has the potential to develop a new strength. Every difficult season can become a preparation for something greater. Life is not always working against you. Sometimes the challenges you face are working on you. They are developing your patience when you want immediate results. They are strengthening your discipline when quitting feels easier. They are building your character so you can handle opportunities that require a stronger version of yourself. Think about a piece of metal being transformed into something valuable. Before it becomes strong, it must experience pressure and intense heat. It is shaped, tested, and refined through difficult conditions. The process is not designed to destroy it. The process is designed to make it stronger. Your life often works the same way. The pressure you experience today may be creating the strength you need for tomorrow. If everything in life came easily, you would never discover your true abilities. Comfort can feel good, but comfort rarely creates growth. The strongest people are not those who avoided challenges. They are the people who learned how to rise through them. Their failures became lessons. Their disappointments became wisdom. Their struggles became the foundation of their resilience. Every difficult moment has the potential to improve you if you choose to learn from it. A setback can teach patience. A failure can teach better decisions. A rejection can teach persistence. A difficult journey can teach you how strong you truly are. The challenge itself is not what defines you. Your response to that challenge is what creates your future. Consider the mountain in front of a climber. The mountain is not there only to block the path. It is there to test the person climbing it. Without resistance, there would be no strength. Without difficulty, there would be no transformation. Without challenges, there would be no opportunity to discover what you are capable of achieving. Now imagine if every obstacle you faced made you stronger instead of weaker. Imagine if every failure gave you more wisdom instead of more frustration. Imagine if every difficult day became another reason to continue instead of another reason to quit. The person you would become would be completely different because challenges would no longer be seen as enemies. They would become opportunities for growth. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving up too early. They quit right before the breakthrough. They stop when they are closer than they realize. Sometimes success is not about being the most talented person in the room. Sometimes success belongs to the person who simply stayed longer, tried again, and refused to walk away. One more attempt can change everything. One more conversation can create a new opportunity. One more day of effort can produce a result you never expected. Persistence often separates those who succeed from those who stop. The difference is not always ability. Sometimes the difference is simply the decision to continue. The challenge you are facing today may become the story that encourages someone else tomorrow. The pain you overcome may become the experience that gives you wisdom later in life. Nothing is wasted when you choose to learn. Every experience can become valuable when you choose growth over bitterness. This is the power of perspective. You may not control every situation that happens to you, but you can control the meaning you give to it. You can decide whether a difficult moment becomes a reason to stop or a reason to become stronger. Do not ask for a life without challenges. Ask for the strength, discipline, and wisdom to handle them. A life without obstacles may sound easier, but it would also limit your growth. Every challenge is a form of preparation. It prepares you for greater responsibilities, bigger opportunities, and future victories that require a stronger version of yourself. So when life becomes difficult, do not surrender. Do not allow temporary struggles to create permanent decisions. Stand firm. Learn the lesson. Accept the challenge. Keep moving forward, because many times, the difficulty you are experiencing today is preparing you for something far greater than you can see right now. Whatever situation you are facing, meet it with courage. Meet it with patience. Meet it with determination. And above all, remember the principle that changes everything: do it anyway. Your future is not something that appears suddenly one day. It is something you are creating right now through every decision you make, every action you take, and every habit you develop. Many people imagine their future as something far away, something that will begin later when conditions improve or when they finally feel ready. But the truth is that your future is being shaped in this exact moment by the choices you continue to repeat. A successful life is rarely built through one extraordinary decision. It is created through ordinary decisions made consistently over time. The choice to wake up when you would rather sleep. The choice to learn when entertainment feels easier. The choice to work when distractions are everywhere. The choice to continue when your motivation is low. These small decisions may appear insignificant in the moment, but together they create the direction of your entire life. Every day, you are making an investment. You are either investing in the person you want to become or investing in the excuses that keep you where you are. There is no neutral position because time is always moving. Every hour is taking you somewhere. Every decision is creating a result. Every action is planting a seed that will eventually produce something in your life. The question is simple. What kind of seeds are you planting today? Are you planting discipline, patience, knowledge, and consistency? Or are you planting delay, comfort, and excuses? The future you experience tomorrow will be connected to the choices you make today. This is why small actions matter so much. They may not create immediate change, but they create lasting transformation. Many people say they want success. They say they want freedom, growth, confidence, and a better life. But wanting something and being willing to work for it are two different things. The moment comes when effort is required, and many people hesitate. They tell themselves they will begin later. They say they will start when they have more time, more energy, more confidence, or better circumstances. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes another year. Slowly, the dream that once felt important becomes something they only think about occasionally. The problem was not always a lack of ability. The problem was the habit of waiting. Life does not reward the person who only has good intentions. Life rewards the person who takes action. Time does not stop because you are uncertain. It does not slow down because you are afraid. It does not pause until everything becomes comfortable. The clock continues moving whether you are progressing or standing still. This is why action is so important. The difference between the life you have and the life you want is often created by the actions you choose when nobody is forcing you to act. Ask yourself this question: What if the future you dream about is waiting behind one decision? One decision to stop delaying. One decision to stop making excuses. One decision to finally keep the promises you have been making to yourself. Would that decision be worth making today? The answer is yes, because your future is not built by what you say you will do. It is built by what you actually do. Every successful person has difficult days. They have mornings when they do not feel motivated. They have moments when they question whether their efforts are worth it. They experience tiredness, frustration, and uncertainty. The difference is they do not allow temporary emotions to control permanent choices. They understand that feelings are powerful but temporary. Feelings can change from one hour to the next. Motivation can disappear. Excitement can fade, but discipline allows you to continue even when emotions are not supporting you. Discipline is the ability to act according to your values instead of acting according to your mood. Imagine two people standing at the same starting point. Both have dreams. Both have potential. Both have opportunities in front of them. One chooses comfort whenever things become difficult. The other chooses action even when progress feels slow. Years later, their lives will look completely different. Not because one person had more luck, but because one person continued doing the work. This is the power of consistency. Small actions repeated every day create results that seem impossible when viewed from the beginning. A single effort may not seem important, but repeated effort creates momentum. One page of reading becomes a collection of knowledge. One workout becomes a healthier body. One disciplined choice becomes a stronger identity. Success is not created in one dramatic moment. It is built through thousands of small decisions. One early morning when you choose responsibility. One difficult conversation when you choose honesty. One extra hour when you choose improvement. One moment when you defeat an excuse instead of accepting it. These moments may never receive attention from others, but they are creating the foundation of your future. Greatness is usually built quietly. It does not always come with recognition. It does not always come with applause. Many of the most important changes happen when nobody is watching. They happen in private moments when you choose to continue, when you choose discipline, and when you choose to become better. The person you want to become is depending on the choices you make today. Not someday. Not when everything becomes easier. Today, every action you take is a vote for your future identity. Every time you choose growth, you move closer to becoming that person. Stop waiting for perfect confidence. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. You already have the ability to take the next step. The path may not always be comfortable. It may not always be simple. It may not always be understood by others. But progress rarely comes from staying inside what feels easy. Every step forward is evidence that you believe in your future. Every disciplined choice is an investment in yourself. Every moment you refuse to quit is proof that you are becoming stronger. The person you are today is not the final version of who you can become. So when the alarm rings and your mind tells you to stay in bed, get up anyway. When the work feels difficult, continue anyway. When progress feels slower than expected, remain patient anyway. When fear appears, take action anyway. Because one day your future self will look back at these moments and recognize that these were the moments that built your success. The journey is not created by one perfect day. It is created by ordinary days where you choose to keep going. It is created by your willingness to show up again and again. The difference between dreams and reality is often the consistency behind the effort. Success belongs to those who understand that discipline must continue even when motivation disappears. It belongs to those who respect the process and trust the small steps. It belongs to those who understand that every decision matters because every decision is shaping the person they are becoming. So keep your promises. Continue learning. Continue improving. Continue moving forward. Your future is being created through the choices you make right now. And whatever challenge appears along the way, remember the principle that can transform your life. Do it anyway. Success is not created by one perfect moment or one massive decision that suddenly changes everything. It is created through thousands of small choices repeated over time. Many people search for a secret formula, a special opportunity, or a single breakthrough that will transform their lives. But the truth is much simpler and much more powerful. Extraordinary results come from ordinary actions performed consistently. The phrase, "do it anyway," should never be just a motivational sentence that sounds good for a few minutes. It should become a personal principle. It should become a habit, a mindset, and a way of responding to life. Because once you build this mindset, you stop wasting energy arguing with yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect emotional state. You stop depending on temporary motivation. You simply begin the work that needs to be done. Think about the beginning of each day. The alarm rings, and immediately there is a conversation inside your mind. One voice says, "Stay a little longer. You are tired. You can start later." But another voice reminds you of the person you are trying to become. Successful people are not successful because they never feel tired. They are successful because they have trained themselves to act even when they feel tired. This is where habits become more powerful than emotions. Emotions change constantly. Some days you will feel excited and full of energy. Other days you will feel uncertain and exhausted. If your progress depends only on how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. But when your actions are controlled by discipline and habits, you continue moving forward even during difficult moments. Consider your goals. Whether you want to improve your health, build knowledge, develop a skill, create a better career, or strengthen your relationships, the same principle applies. You will not always feel inspired. You will not always feel ready. There will be days when the excitement disappears. But if you have built the habit of showing up, your progress will continue. That is the difference between temporary effort and lasting growth. Motivation can start the journey, but consistency is what completes it. Many people begin with great energy, but they stop when the results take longer than expected. They expect immediate changes, and when those changes do not appear quickly, they lose confidence. But successful people understand that meaningful progress takes time. Small habits often appear insignificant in the beginning. Reading a few pages may not seem important. Taking a short walk may not feel life-changing. Practicing a skill for a few minutes may not create immediate success. Saving a small amount of money may not seem impressive. But when these actions are repeated consistently, they create a powerful effect. Success grows through accumulation. One good decision leads to another. One disciplined day creates a disciplined week. One disciplined week creates a disciplined month. Over time, these small choices create a completely different person. The transformation does not come from one dramatic event. It comes from thousands of quiet moments where you chose improvement instead of comfort. The hardest part of creating a habit is often the beginning. At first, everything requires effort. You have to remind yourself. You have to push yourself. You have to fight old patterns. But eventually, the action becomes part of who you are. You no longer ask yourself whether you should do it. You simply do it because it has become connected to your identity. That is a powerful level of freedom. Freedom from constantly negotiating with yourself. Freedom from always needing motivation. Freedom from being controlled by procrastination and excuses. When discipline becomes part of your identity, you no longer depend on outside circumstances to determine your actions. Imagine if every single day you chose one thing you did not feel like doing and completed it anyway. Imagine the person you would become after 1 year of those decisions. You would become stronger because you practiced strength. You would become more confident because you proved to yourself that you could follow through. You would become more disciplined because you repeatedly chose discipline. Your habits are creating your future identity every day. Every action is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose learning, you vote for growth. When you choose discipline, you vote for success. When you choose courage, you vote for a stronger future. These individual votes may seem small, but eventually they create the person you become. Never underestimate the value of today's effort. The workout you complete today. The book you read today. The conversation you finally have today. The sacrifice you make today. The extra hour you spend improving yourself today. These moments may not look important right now, but they are building advantages that will become visible in the future. Greatness is usually created in ordinary moments. It is created when nobody is watching. It is created when there is no applause. It is created when you have every reason to stop but you choose to continue. The people who achieve meaningful success are often not the people who had the easiest journey. They are the people who develop the strongest commitment to keep moving. You do not need a perfect life to make progress. You do not need perfect circumstances to improve yourself. You do not need unlimited motivation. What you need is consistent action. The ability to continue even when conditions are not ideal is one of the greatest advantages anyone can develop. When you are tired, continue anyway. When you are uncertain, continue anyway. When others doubt you, continue anyway. When progress feels slow, continue anyway. Every time you make this choice, you strengthen your character. Every time you keep going, you become more prepared for the opportunities ahead. Your future is not decided only by your dreams. Dreams are important, but dreams without action remain only ideas. Your future is decided by your daily habits, your repeated choices, and your willingness to continue when the easy option is to stop. Make these 3 words part of your daily life. Do it anyway. Let them guide you during difficult mornings, uncertain moments, and challenging seasons. Let them remind you that your feelings do not have to control your future. Let them remind you that progress is created through action. The person you want to become is built through what you repeatedly do. Not through what you occasionally attempt. Not through what you hope will happen. But through the choices you make every single day. So build the habit. Keep your promise. Stay committed to the process. Continue taking the next step even when the road becomes difficult. Because every time you choose to move forward, you are creating a stronger version of yourself. And whatever tomorrow brings, whatever challenges appear, whatever obstacles stand in your way, remember the principle that has the power to change your life. Do it anyway. Life will never be completely perfect. There will always be challenges waiting ahead. There will always be moments of uncertainty, unexpected delays, difficult decisions, and situations that test your patience. The question is not whether life will become difficult, because it will. The real question is who you will become when those difficult moments arrive. Your future is not controlled only by your circumstances. It is shaped by your response to those circumstances. 2 people can experience the same challenge and walk away with completely different results. One person sees the difficulty as a reason to stop. Another person sees it as an opportunity to grow. The situation may be the same, but the mindset creates a completely different outcome. Every day, life gives you choices. You can choose action or hesitation. You can choose responsibility or excuses. You can choose growth or comfort. You can choose to continue or you can choose to surrender. These decisions may seem small in the moment, but over time they become the foundation of your entire life. You do not have to be the most talented person to succeed. You do not have to know everything before you begin. You do not have to have perfect conditions surrounding you. What you need is the willingness to keep moving forward. One more step. One more attempt. One more day of commitment. That is how progress is created. Many people underestimate the power of persistence because they expect success to happen quickly. They look for immediate results and become discouraged when the process takes longer than expected. But meaningful achievements are rarely created overnight. They are built through patience, discipline, and the decision to continue even when the reward is not immediately visible. Think about every successful person you respect. Behind their achievements are countless moments that nobody saw. Moments of doubt. Moments of failure. Moments when quitting would have been easier. But they continued. They understood that success is not about avoiding difficulties. It is about developing the strength to overcome them. When fear tells you that you are not ready, take the step anyway. When failure tries to convince you that you cannot succeed, learn from it and continue anyway. When people doubt your vision, remember why you started and continue anyway. When the path becomes difficult and the progress feels slow, stay committed anyway. Every time you choose action over excuses, you become a different person. You build evidence that you are capable. You strengthen your confidence. You develop discipline. You create a stronger relationship with yourself because you prove that you can be trusted. The greatest victories in life are often created through small moments of decision. A decision to wake up early. A decision to practice one more time. A decision to have a difficult conversation. A decision to learn from mistakes instead of being defeated by them. A decision to keep moving when stopping would feel easier. These moments may not seem important while they are happening, but they are shaping your future. They are creating the habits, character, and mindset that will determine the person you become. Your future self is being created by the choices you make today. Success is not magic. It is not simply luck. It is not something reserved for a special group of people. Success is predictable because it follows principles. When you consistently practice discipline, when you continue learning, when you remain committed, and when you take action every day, you increase your chances of achieving meaningful results. The process may feel slow, but slow progress is still progress. A person who moves forward consistently will eventually pass the person who only moves when conditions are perfect. The person who continues learning will eventually gain knowledge. The person who continues practicing will eventually develop skill. The person who continues showing up will eventually create results. Never forget that your current situation does not define your final destination. Where you are today is only one chapter of your story. The decisions you make from this point forward can change the direction of your life. You are not limited to your past mistakes, past failures, or past disappointments. What matters is what you choose now. Choose discipline when comfort calls your name. Choose courage when fear appears. Choose patience when results take time. Choose belief when doubt becomes loud. Choose action when excuses become tempting. These choices may not always feel easy, but they are the choices that create growth. The person you want to become is waiting for you to make those decisions. The stronger version of yourself is created through every challenge you face and every promise you keep. You do not become that person someday in the future. You become that person through the actions you take today. So when the journey feels difficult, remember why you started. When progress feels invisible, remember that growth is still happening. When nobody notices your effort, remember that your character is being built in those quiet moments. Do not wait for perfect confidence. Do not wait for perfect timing. Do not wait until every obstacle disappears. The perfect moment rarely arrives. The people who achieve their dreams are the ones who begin before they feel completely ready and continue before they see complete results. Take the step. Keep the promise. Trust the process. When life challenges you, do it anyway. When fear tries to stop you, do it anyway. When failure attempts to define you, do it anyway. When the road becomes difficult, do it anyway. Because every time you choose to continue, you are creating a stronger future. Every time you choose discipline, you are investing in yourself. Every time you refuse to quit, you are becoming someone capable of achieving more than you once believed possible. One day, you will look back at the moments when you wanted to stop. You will remember the difficult days, the uncertain moments, and the challenges that tested you. And you will realize those were the moments that built you. You will not be grateful because the journey was easy. You will be grateful because you had the courage to continue. So protect your dreams. Respect your goals. Trust the process. Keep improving. Keep moving forward. Success belongs to those who are willing to show up repeatedly. It belongs to those who understand that discipline is more powerful than temporary feelings. It belongs to those who continue when others stop. Your future is waiting for the decisions you make today. So no matter what happens, no matter how challenging the path becomes, no matter how many obstacles appear in front of you, remember these three powerful words.